Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So they just dropped the Myriad Celestial trailer Fables About the Stars Part 2 for Star Rail. I haven't seen it. None of us have seen it. I don't know what's in here. All I know is Fine Oppa's on the thumbnail. Well, Daniel's probably seen it because he's Daniel. But yeah, we are going to watch this.
I didn't know it existed until Matt started yelling about it.
Whatever, let's start watching
Daughters
it.
bark, therefore they must have seen it.
Last time I was on the
Ooh.
Oh, we're already starting with characters.
Pity that you now come not as a hero, but a prisoner.
Oh.
This is not how I thought we were starting this.
Empty talk.
The divination matrix will naturally determine whether your words are trustworthy.
Actually, we hadn't.
As we always say on the sea.
We never got the resolution of that, huh?
No, we didn't. Not yet.
Oh.
Whoa.
Bellabog?
Bellabog?
What? Oh
What?
no, the black tide is affecting Bellabog? No, it's affecting everything.
Whoa.
Erudition's
gonna die? Oh, the pool's going.
Ledge or something.
Does that hurt a spaceship? What? The blue?
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Oh, Jesus.
The Alliance already has the swarm author's remains.
They what?
To kill a god. We just need to temper the hunt's arrowheads with ruin's golden blood.
Oh, oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
They want to go to the
They're
Emporius?
They're dipping arrows in
Nova's
Forest.
legions are retreating. Is this a trap?
This is definitely a trap.
She's carrying out an even more important order.
Wait, does that mean...
The Cienjo Alliance is not our enemy.
What?
So why not join this great feast
Who the hell?
and observe how billions of beating hearts
The Antimatter Legion?
to
Yeah.
irreversible demise.
I don't...
You have to
gold?
be a feast.
Death
Ooh.
is not the process, but the outcome.
Isn't that...
Let the ignorant hunter raise their bow and kill what they love, what they believe in, and ultimately kill themselves.
Oh, Jesus.
So, what's the point in this process? Just for it to
Who
feel
is
like
this?
a ceremony?
I don't know. We'll see in the comments in a sec.
It's not like I have a right to complain about ceremonies. I mourn for worlds that can.
Oh, it's the morning actor. A finality
Oh.
person, I think.
It is.
Remember what happened?
I saw a spot of light
Whoa.
that dimmed the star.
Oh, boy.
Oh dear God.
Oh, God. That's... Oh, God.
Was torn, leaving only a despairing white, enveloping both entropy and time.
Cupid was here.
No.
Whoa, what is this?
Whoa. Golden...
Oh, golden blood.
Golden blood.
Salute thee, blemished one.
Wait, is that...
Quintilia.
Defiance of the cosmos.
Ooh, new Fentilia design.
We offer a magnificent ruin.
The destruction.
Together, beneath your gaze, we bear witness to a colleague's end.
What?
Be it coronation.
Are these the
perhaps,
Eons?
The end of their
I don't
journey is
know.
the
I
same.
think they're all Antimatter Legion. So these are the people that are. These are
Oh.
the for Lord Ravagers.
Oh,
Witness? That feels like formalism.
Show your face.
Every genius
Ah.
in the cosmos dropped dead. What's that got to do with us?
Is this the Intelligentsia Guild?
What the fuck?
His head is.
Enough for you. The fools will only flounder in tears.
Now
after
he just
the
needs a
wise have been
feast on his
buried.
palm.
Cease your chatter. The sun has risen from the end of time.
Ooh,
Ooh.
who the fuck is that?
When
I don't know.
our team finally breaks its ship, the erudition's calculations will meet the end.
Okay.
Say that Akavili on a new journey won't bring
What?
about their salvation.
Machiavelli.
Trailblazing always ends up igniting something.
So I guess that hints at something that was discussed before.
Yeah.
Even more majestic ruin.
Oh, shit. There he is.
Hmm.
Pray prisoner who picked up Starfire.
Where have I heard this voice
You
before?
are to become the first spark.
Oh, right, he's from Genshin.
And in that fable about the stars, we'll pen the prayer
Whoa.
of destruction.
Well, that's unsettling.
There's an interesting
Holy.
idea. So one of the things I remember. Oh, God damn it.
Holy crap. I mean, like, while he's trying to decline that phone call, I mean, like, what do you think, Ray? Because, like, holy shit. Oh my god. There's,
So
that's
what
our
I
next
was
door.
going to say. What I was going to say was that one of the things that I think people were speculating back in, or when we found out about the Emanator of Destruction in Amphorius,
Right.
one of the names people kept throwing out was Iron Tomb, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I think a lot of people are kind of assuming that Iron Tomb is Phynon. Here's an odd bet. What if Iron Tomb
Lygus?
is Lygus?
Ooh.
That sounds right, actually.
That actually sounds correct.
Like, it could be that he, having gone from erudition to destruction, is now seeking to create the strongest thing for destruction. But that's also why the morning actor is, or at least who I think is the morning actor, is there. Because he's like, I've already seen the end, and the end might be affected by the Trailblaze.
Okay.
So
No, go on.
No, go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
effectively,
Cook.
what I'm saying is that we are going, or there is a high chance we are going to figure out whatever the fuck is going on Amphorius and stop the Emperor Scepter from destroying literally everything that we know.
Right. I hear a butt coming on.
Well, the butt is kind of one of those weird butts. We don't have enough information to confirm or deny that. But we do know that our book that Mem controls turns into some kind of computer interface.
Right. Yeah, it turns into like an iPad.
Yeah. Have we thrown out the idea that that is the key
Oh.
to Amphorius?
Oh. Oh no. That's an interesting possibility. I'm checking
Now,
Oh, go ahead.
here is the next part of that sentence. If this is true, it does completing the book mean that whoever owns the book unleashes Amphorius from the cycle, or do they control the Emperor's Scepter? If we have full control over the history of Amphorius.
Is the book, in fact, another form of the Emperor's Scepter?
Like it's the main like controller, like how you can control like a smart home with like a light bulb with your phone or whatever.
Controller, or
Exactly.
just the idle state, like when it's not
Yeah,
activated as.
For all
Yeah,
we
it's a
know,
good-
the
these are
book
good
could
theories.
also be another form of the Emperor's Scepter, and it's been in the Eye of Twilight, but because we access it in a dream state, we never realized that.
Right.
See, how I came to this is a scepter, more than being a tool, a weapon, an implement of what have you. A scepter is a symbol of control and authority.
Right.
And a book seems like passive recording knowledge sort of thing, but as soon as you turn it into a tablet, that's a step toward being able to operate something, being able
Right.
to control something.
No, you're on the money with that. Like, I'm gonna look at the description. Let me see what it says real quick. Okay. A prophecy known as the theory of four apocalypses circulates among the Omen vanguards. That four paths will push the cosmos to an end of finality. Destruction is one of them. The nuke's flames shall devour all. In the heat death, the universe meets its first fate and eternal end. In their terror, mortals ask, where does their primal mobile truly stem? Is it contempt for life, succor for the universe, or the denial and hatred toward the gods? None know the answer, but at the end of destruction, civilization, living beings, all past and eons will be burned to dust like the stars once shined above. And then,
Also,
yeah,
they
so
got
here we,
apparently there were 4 Lord Ravagers in that.
yeah, there was Silanova, Ventilia, Asta, Asat, Pramad, and Zephyro. Have we heard of Zephyro before?
Sean Shiplock's a pretty big name in voice acting.
Isn't that who is Sean?
Wasn't Sean Welt?
No, isn't that?
No.
Isn't
So
he? Isn't that D-Luke? That's D-Luke's voice actor.
Oh,
That's interesting. Huh.
there's a
Yeah, because
lot of-
that's D-Luke and then the bird guy from Breath of the Wild.
But
Okay.
yeah, it seems like all the Lord Ravagers are starting to move too, which is going to be really interesting because that effectively means that a lot of bigger plays are going to be moving together into Amphorius. So beyond even what's going on in Amphorius, we might just have a fucking war outside of it.
So you think like once we get out of Amphorius, we're gonna wind up in the middle of this, like this war is gonna start kicking off between destruction and all things,
But so maybe
or
this
even
is
it'll
just
start
because
while
this
we're
is-
busy.
So maybe this is just because it's fresh on my mind, but you know, thinking of conflict off of Amphorius, you know who started out as somebody who might have been erudition-y, who had nerd powers and eventually went to fighting and destroying, who shares a color palette with Lygus, and is related indirectly through voice actors.
Who?
Cyrtology.
Oh, good.
Ooh.
Cyrtology, who's also
Oh,
trying to
boy.
create something powerful enough to challenge him, which Daniel speculated might be something to do with Lygus in the Vein of Iron Tomb.
That's interesting.
Have we found Cyrtology? Did they time this?
That
Or is the
would
Hoyo
be
Hoyo
overthinking.
doesn't do anything without planning, unless it's like a mispost, and then they usually delete it. But like, Hoyo
But-
has a plan. They always have a plan. They've had a plan.
But sometimes
for
the
everything.
plan is just faking us out.
Yeah, the plan. Yeah, like they faked us out. Like all of this could literally mean nothing. It could be another, like where we went to the what was the family that of like destruction units that Akron just slaughtered basically all of them. / they all just went out.
The Annihilation Gang.
Yeah, the Annihilation Gang. That led to nothing. That was a bait and switch and led to nothing. It was
I
like,
mean, we
cool.
don't know how
And
much
the
of a
head of the
bait and
Annihilation
switch
Gang
that
died, and the rest of them all fled. Like so far, that's
Yeah.
led to nothing.
Yeah, but that could be them playing the long game, or it
I
could
know,
be
but
faking us out.
I know, but still, at this point in time, what I'm working with is we haven't seen shit from them. The only thing we've
I
seen
agree with
is
that.
the guy's cape is materials for upgrading our character, and it's usually not very good materials.
For fuck's sake.
Like
But
Hoyo typically knows what they're doing with timing and planning, unless there's like an outside force that's like affecting them, like how they had to delay a Genshin update because of the lockdowns that were happening in China at the time. Like they have everything on a schedule, they have everything planned out. Obviously they've had to make some changes with like Nodcry and Genshin, but like they're still going towards their original goal. They still have all of Genshin's storyline like mashed out on a billboard on a whiteboard somewhere. Like there's not there's like a document somewhere that has a plan. There's definitely one, like there was one for HI3. There's 100% one for this and Zenless. Like Hoyo doesn't do anything unless it's like either important later or it's something that they think is important now that we should learn for later. They may bait and switch us sometimes, but eventually stuff does come back around. Like that, like for example, where is that shot of Bellabog just being screwed? Where is that shot?
I do want to mention, though, as far as Impact Third goes, there was a period where it was pretty clear that they didn't have their plan fully fleshed out, and I think they learned from that. Oh yeah, no, we need to have an attention to detail. We need to map this stuff out as well as we can, otherwise we're going to have weird retcons and stuff.
Yeah.
Because they do such intricate stuff.
Yeah, like this. They teased this in Penacony, that there was something happening to Bellabog, with Sampo getting his mask back from Sparkle. They teased something with this, and they are gonna act on it. Like, that was there for a reason. It may not have been important then, but they wanted to bring it up because of something, and here it possibly is. I don't know if this is happening, but it's still a possibility. Yeah.
Is it only the consequences of Amphorius that affect this, or is this a long-term issue? Because we wouldn't be getting this much attention from every potential source if Amphorius wasn't at a critical point, right?
Yeah.
But assumedly, right, we are going to, if not save Amphorius, prevent whatever the fuck this is. But
maybe
this is all incredibly hingent on Amphorius, and for all we know, if we hadn't been there, none of this would have happened. Like, we don't know the or why Amphorius is going the way it is. So, imagine, if you will, that we have saved the day, as previously stated.
Yeah.
This all has stopped. And this scene is a consequence of Amphorius being left alone. Why are we getting so much attention to these things that are so... what's the word? Somewhat unrelated. Like the Xianzhou being attacked by the Antimatter Legion. That, at the moment, has nothing to do with with Amphorius. Bellabog, well, I can't really say if it has the means to have this happen.
Right.
But there's a high unlikelihood that Bellabog is suddenly going to get attacked by all of its war mechs.
Right.
Are we seeing the consequences of Amphorius, or are we seeing something that's going to happen regardless of Amphorius? And this is just the Lord Ravager's long game.
From a storytelling standpoint, I assume these things are related until proven otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, it also could be that this is the consequence of failing in Amphorius. Like, there's a new Lord Ravager, and that Lord Ravager's like, all right, time to fuck shit up, you know? Like, and it just goes ham. Like, this could be the consequences of our actions where we fail to do something to Amphorius. That is also a possibility. Obviously, we're probably going to do okay. We usually do. But, like, who knows? Maybe we actually just will fail, and Amphorius will just fall, and this will happen. We don't know. Like, this is all we're working with right now, is, like, these shots of all these planets basically collapsing. Like, we don't know.
There's
a lot to work with here. Go ahead.
There's also two other things that have been bothering me. Number one, the IPC.
Right.
Well, not right. So, we have all of these different places we've been to getting completely and utterly battered. there is a point to be said that, yeah, Belobog would probably get screwed over. Herta Space Station isn't the most prepared to fight on its own. And those ones are fair for being destroyed. Penacony also has a fair point of saying that there's probably not a military force or any kind of prevention methods.
Right.
So that's fine. Or fine enough that it's being attacked. The problem with this comes from the IPC and the Genjo Alliance.
Right.
Why is it so easy for them to get overrun this fast? Like, as we've heard, the Emperor Scepter is apparently wildly powerful beyond anything really anybody should be able to think of realistically, because there's not a single way in hell a human being can really understand the gravitas of the scale of which this thing is apparently wreaking havoc. But this also means that any other civilization is basically fucked, and I don't really understand how it's that simple that this thing just turns on and we're all fucked that easily.
Yeah.
Like, there's
gotta be
something else
more.
going on here. Like,
I would
maybe the
agree.
Emperor Scepter turning on is the signal rather than the end goal. Like, yeah, this is the start of the war, and the rest of the Lord Ravagers will just be like, okay, I see the Emperor Scepter is working. Time to start fucking shit up for everybody else too.
This ties back to a scepter as a symbol of control rather than a weapon in itself.
Yeah,
Right.
it could be the starting point, and this is just the consequences of the Emperor Scepter starting the fight and somebody else finishing it.
So you think
But
it's to make another allegory, it's kind of like in the original Avengers where like they started messing with the cube and it was perceived as, oh, the Earth is ready for a higher form of war, and that started so much shit.
nice,
Kinda,
right?
sorta.
Like it's somewhat related into there's a big artifact that's really important, and now there's people coming to just get it.
But
And
this
there's
feels
shit
more
that's happening.
deliberate.
Oh yeah, no, this is way more deliberate because they actually have a plan.
Right, but there is a second part. And I'm forgetting what it is necessarily. What was it? I've been scrolling around so much. Oh, right. Erudition and how this ties back to Jingliu.
Right.
Firstly, why is Jingliu the point of view in which we get this from the beginning? Because what was it that Jingliu said specifically?
I will rewind. Here, I'm going to play the audio again. So we all
I
can
mean,
see
I
it.
just need to see the words. In fact, playing the audio is less helpful because I can't see what she's
Here,
saying.
I've got the here. You just see.
I mean, you already skipped past the part where I needed to see.
Oh.
That's Amazon TV. Dinner. Put the abundance in their grave, empty talk. Seeing is believing. A war of gods has already begun, and the Abacus has calculated future. The Lord Raventer Iron Wish's tomb will be fulfilled, and an aeon of the erudition will fall. So Iron Wish's tomb will be, or Iron Tomb's wish will be fulfilled.
Right.
Assumedly, that ties back to the scepter. Why is erudition the thing that's going to die? Like, I'm not really saying that I would have expected them to go after Yaoshi or anything, right?
No.
But why is this the start? Like, why is erudition the thing that is dying? When erudition seemed like the thing that Rupert was following, even if unintentionally or other like non
Right.
expectedly or whatever. Why is it Erudition that's going to die? Why is Erudition being targeted? And why does that tie back to Yaoshi dying? Like, is this
Isn't
like
it because
beyond this happening? Is it possible that other people want us to fail?
Yes.
Well, I mean, like, not even in Amphorius, because we probably know somebody in Amphorius is looking for us to fuck up.
yeah?
But I
this
mean,
is a much
outside,
further reaching conspiracy than just Amphorius.
yeah, like, is there a chance our allies aren't going to be on our side for what we're doing? Is there a chance that it might be beneficial that this happens potentially? We don't like there's a lot of things that draw attention or that Jingliu being the one who's telling us all of this draws attention to in my mind.
Right.
That there's something more going on here than just Amphorius awakens, a god dies, and a new god war starts.
So
Like, are we
I
going
looked
to try
up.
and work together stuff?
I looked up Noose. Okay, so here's the profile of Noose from the wiki. Noose can comprehend their intentions, location, or normal state. It is a machine intelligence that is upgraded to an eon, calculating the essence of the universe and its ultimate solution. However, Noose temporarily ceased their search regarding the answers to the universe after the events of the Second Prosperity. They are not a god that provides solutions. All they offer is an infinite number of questions. Visiting Noose is enough to open the eyes of even the most ignorant people, but answers may only be found by oneself. Noose was, according to legend, created by the first member of the Genius Society, Xander I Kuwabara. It is bestowed the task to seek the answers to the universe. Noose also, in Lewis Fleming's retirement speech, Noose calculated the universe would undergo three unchangeable moments. The first moment was the Border Star Trade War, which happened eons ago. The second moment was the first mechanical Emperor's War with the anti-organic equation, and Rupert I would be awakened. The third moment was when Rupert I would be killed by Polka Kakamond. All three events did happen later in history. I'm looking at here, seeing if there's anything in here. Noose has a significant influence on Xianzhou's technological advancement, namely their divination technology. Followers of Noose in the Xianzhou were called the Wisdom Sect. The Wisdom Sapientia Academy in the Xianzhou Yuquei, which dates back to 5,000 years ago, has provided a constant supply of talented technicians who believe in the wisdom marker to various Xianzhou commissions. The Wisdom Sect still exists, although it is hardly known and only has a small group of followers left. The theory behind the symbols of the Jade Abacus that can only be understood by diviners of the Divination Commission is believed to have been handed down by Noose. The insight provided by Noose also impacted the creation of the Matrix of Prescience Ultima in the La Fu, a device used by diviners to peer into the past and future. We know that's what gives Fu Xuan her power, like, effectively. Like, that lets her look at... That's the thing that she looked into Kafka's mind with. Centuries ago, Noose also granted divine volumes outlining the Matrix calculations to the La Fu. And then Noose and Fu Xuan has possibly met Noose as well. But we don't know.
But another thing, just offhandedly, I was looking at the Lord Ravagers to see if I would get more information. I did not, but I stumbled upon something very interesting in the fandom page, so take this with a grain of salt. So there is an unknown Lord Ravager, subtly nicknamed the Chess Player, destroys planets at a much slower rate than other Lord Ravagers, strategically ordering their troops to slowly advance and overwhelm the enemy, denying them any chance of resistance. This Lord Ravager prefers to study and research civilizations that they were attacking and is said to have the temperament of a chess grandmaster.
Well, that fills me with all sorts of concerns.
Yeah.
But it's not like we've met anybody like that, right?
Where's the chess piece?
So anyway, now
You mean like that, Daniel?
line,
You mean like
Yes.
that?
now that line of thought seems to have more or less run its course, I want to mention the reason I recognized Sean Shiplock's name earlier, like right away, is not because of D-Luke, it's because he's Natsuki Subaru.
Ah, nice. Nice.
You're right.
But yeah, no, like this is all really, really interesting. Like there's so much here that's just like gonna take forever to like dig through. Like there's so many like possibilities and thoughts that it's so hard to cram into more than a 30-minute video. I will leave this to the lore tubers to really delve into, but like I think we have some interesting theories here. Like there is some stuff that could happen, or maybe it won't happen, or we don't know. Something is happening. They're moving because of Amphorius. Like I feel like they can feel it because like it's told that like Amphorius is basically a prison for a Lord Ravager. What happens if the Lord Ravager is just straight up never born? That would make the destruction move. If they're like, where did he go? Like they'd be like, they found a way to stop us.
Even.
We need to move. Like that is a motivator of losing
There's
one
a
of
lot
their own.
of angles in which we can take this, and
There's so many
all of
options.
them are very interesting.
See, this is why I
But-
love videos like this, is it just opens so many questions. This is why I still play Star Rail on the regular and I don't play Genshin as much, is because the lore is just so much more massive and has so many more implications on the day-to-day, possibly in the future. Like, we may not see any consequences in this until like 4.0 or 5.0, but the fact that they put this out now is a sign there's something going on. Like,
Well, there was already definitely something going on.
I
This
know,
is
but like,
confirmation.
there's a new path that there's a new thing we're seeing that has many possibilities. Like, it's like having the Time Stone as Doctor Strange. You just see a lot of things now, you know? Like, there's just something going on. I don't know what it is. None of us know what it is yet, but something's happening. And I'm very, very curious to see where they go with this, which is why I'm very excited for 3-4 next week. Because I don't know if that will have specifically answers, but it will raise, obviously, it'll probably answer some things and obviously raise a crap load of questions. But I think, like, this is really interesting as just a baseline of new options. Like, I don't know. What do you two think? Like, as a final statement, since it's 10:04.
I'm going to need to look over this with a fine-tooth comb.
So am I. Yeah, I'm gonna absolutely just dive right into theories on Reddit and YouTube. Like, there's
My
so
brain
much
is
stuff
going
here.
down too many rabbit holes, and most of them are just filled with rubbish. So, if you want ideas of what's probably definitely not going to happen, I might be able to help. Otherwise, have fun with Reddit.
I know what's not gonna happen. People are gonna not spend their money. Because, my God. But, like, no, there's just so many things here that could happen. Like, also, this is the first time we're seeing, I think, this planet. The blue. We've heard it talked about many times before, but we've never seen it. And now the first time we're seeing it is it being destroyed by what looked like the remains of Herta's space station. Because there's a reason they put these two shots together. Like, they put the shots somewhat close to each other.
We also know that the blue is the fifth true magic, so if we're going to tie into fate, we're going to get time travel now.
God fucking damn it, Greg.
God damn it, Greg. But yeah, no, like there's so many things here. We're obviously probably going to talk about it offline, so you may see us thinking of more theories tomorrow, which we will happily share on stream as we do MOC. Because doing MOC is the perfect time to be just kind of like there's no story to it. It's just fighting MOC. But like there's so many theories we can craft in the next 23 hours before we stream again. But yeah, I'm going to upload this like immediately. So YouTube, what do you think of this trailer? Are you excited? Are you thinking this is dumb? Or you just be like, goodbye money in 3.4 and all future patches. Let us know in the comments below, and feel free to follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/MattHumeSpace. Just replace the YouTube web link with Twitch, and you'll be able to find me. But yeah, have a good night.